and welcome to Cruiseandcoasters USA Theme Park Tour, stop number 1. We are in North and South Carolina here at Carowinds. I am so excited to get on Fury, which is right behind me, a B&M Giga Coaster, 325 feet, over 95 miles per hour. It's a gorgeous, beautiful, hot summer day, and what a fantastic way to kick off our first park of this trip, the first park of 22 theme parks coming our way. So Carowinds comes from the name the Carolinas, which of course the park is in both North and South Carolina, and the winds that cross both states. And I'm very excited to take you guys along the park the full day. The park is open from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. today, and I'm so excited to show you guys the entire park, all the rides, the atmosphere, the food, the shows, and what an excellent way to kick off our summer theme park tour across the United States. Let's go into Carowinds. As you walk into Carowinds, you have a line right down the midway that divides both North and South Carolina. So right now, I am in 2 states at the same time. How fun is that? There's only one correct way to start a USA theme park tour like this one when you're at Carowinds, and that's gonna be with a ride on none other than Fury 325, the park's Giga Coaster that is amazing, and we're here. Like literally, the road trip is happening because we are here and ready for Fury 325. Let's go. Change of plans. Fury 325 actually just went down, so we're gonna head to Hurler as our first ride, but that's okay. We'll come back to Fury when it reopens. Only Hurler can do so much, yet so little at the same time. It has a very interesting layout, but it just runs like so not great. Like there's like no airtime, no force to it. It's like a little rough, but like also the seats are super padded, so it's like not aggressively rough, if that makes any sense. We are gonna ride like almost 3 variations of this coaster. So we are going to ride, of course, at King's Dominion tomorrow, the updated Twisted Timbers, which was a clone of Hurler. And then we are also going to ride the one at Kentucky Kingdom, I think it's Thunder Run, and it has a very, very similar layout to this. And if I remember correctly, the one at Kentucky Kingdom does run significantly better. But yeah, this is gonna be a one and done for me. We eventually did get on Fury 325, 2 back-to-back rides, one on row 6 and one on row 8, which is my absolute favorite. My favorite seat on Fury is row 8 on the very left side. It is around 110 degree heat index today, and this thing is just flying around the course. You get some amazing airtime, some really good whip at the beginning. The speed is absolutely incredible. One of my favorite coasters. It has to be back in the top 10. It is running absolutely phenomenally. I don't even know if that's a word, but it's running, oh my gosh. It was amazing, immaculate. We are admittedly dying from the heat just a little bit already. It's like I said, like 110 heat index. So I think we're going to get a little beverage, maybe a little lunch, set some air conditioning before we tackle the next few rides. We did take a little drop on the park's drop tower, which is aptly named Drop Tower. Super, super unique, Carowinds. This is actually one of my favorite style of drop towers other than Falcon's Fury. It's one of those Intamin Generation 1 free falls, and you just, like, you're not very tall, but you do feel like you're falling for like what feels like a really long time, a really forceful drop, and those brakes don't kick in, it feels like, until the absolute last second, and you feel like you may actually plummet into the ground. I love these drop towers, and they also don't hold you up at the top for very long, which I do appreciate. We came over to the Aeronautica landing area, and we're going to have lunch at Terminal A. I have never eaten here before, so excited to take you guys along with me. I'm starving. And the reason we've never eaten there is because it is not a restaurant. It's like a brewery with small bites, but it doesn't take the dining plan. So lesson learned, Terminal A is not for dining, LOL. So I think we're gonna do the Blue Ridge Farm instead, which we have eaten at before, and I remember being quite good. But still take you along. All right, we went to the Blue Ridge Farm, as I mentioned, and I got the barbecue chicken sandwich, and I went with a side, fried okra. The service was super fast, actually. The park is not very busy at all. It's super friendly so far, but half the kitchen is closed for renovation, so keep that in mind. So we did walk around to the other side and were able to find indoor seating in the air conditioning, thank goodness. Incoming food review. The chicken tender was absolutely amazing. The sauce was delicious. They were crispy and yummy. I ended up not actually eating the bread. I probably should just ordered the chicken tenders. And then the okra, I'm gonna give like a 6 out of 10. She was decent and passable. Now that we've cooled down, hydrated, I think it's time for some more rides, and I think I'm going to take a ride on Copperhead Strike now, one of my favorite coasters here at Carowinds.
Those are not permitted in For your safety, the safety glasses and cell phones must be stored.
Did 2 back-to-back rides here on Copperhead Strike, and I think Copperhead Strike is running the best that I have ever been on it. It has been a little rattly in the past, and I would say it's really just been rattly kind of like in the higher G-force areas, but really good ejector air time, amazing hang time. This one should have been called hang time because the hang time on it is absolutely phenomenal. I love the JoJo roll, the first inversion's phenomenal, and the pops of air time are absolutely fantastic. The one thing that I cannot stand, guys, this is an upcharge attraction. I cannot stand the fact that this park does not have the movable lockers like all of the other Cedar Fair parks. So for Fury 325 and Copperhead, we've had to get a single-use locker because we have our bags with us, with like water, batteries, etc. And we have to pay $4 every single time. It doesn't seem like a lot, but all of the other Cedar Fair parks like Cedar Point, Kings Dominion, Kings Island, they do a movable one where you can pay $10, one flat fee, and move your locker from ride to ride all day. And I can accept that a lot more than having to pay $4 every single time that I want to ride Copperhead Strike or Fury 325. So I really hope that Carowinds take the feedback and put in a multi-use locker option in the very near future, because I really hate paying $4 every single time I want to ride those 2 attractions. They're like my favorite 2 rides here. But onward to the next attraction. I wasn't going to film anything about Boo Blasters because it's kind of just like a smaller ride, but it looks like they did some significant work on it during the off season, and the effects were working phenomenal. And there was even like this mist screen where they were projecting a skull on it, and it was absolutely incredible. If you haven't been on Boo Blasters in a while, it might be worth getting on. Plus, it had some excellent air conditioning, so totally worth checking out. Just did a ride on Nighthawk, the park's Vekoma flying coaster. This is the original Vekoma flying coaster that used to be at California's Great America, where it opened up as Stealth. Then it was moved here to Carowinds, where it opened up as Borg, a simulator, and now it is Nighthawk. And the paint job absolutely looks stunning on it. The ride itself though, she's just not the moment. She's not for me. They are running one train on it, so the operations are a little slow, especially in this heat. It's not great. I do wish they would have both trains on it. The ride itself, so I like the ride, like the lie to fly element at first. When you first get off the chain lift is a lot of fun. You kind of like fall into your harness. The vertical loop is a lot of good force to it. It's a lot of fun. The thing that I hate is right behind me. This double barrel roll situation is so shuffly. It just feels like you are in a drawing machine until the end of the ride. And that is not for me. It is absolutely baking out here tonight, so we are probably gonna go get some water, get some liquid IV in us because it is hot. It is a scorcher out here today. Just finished up a ride on Thunderstriker, the park's B&M hypercoaster. It used to be Intimidator. I'm having a really hard time actually calling it Thunderstriker. I think they did a really poor job at the retheme. It's just like a little skin over the sign and a sticker on the vehicle. I wish I would have gone a little bit more effort into the retheme. I think would be helpful. And yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to Michael, who's hopefully watching the vlog. I know this is your favorite attraction here at Carowinds, and if you're watching the vlog, you have to text me and say that you saw the shout out. If not, I'll know you did not watch to this point. So, anywho, just did Thunderstriker. Thoughts on it? I think it's actually one of the better B&M hypercoasters. It's probably a lot less rattly than Diamondback, but I would say Behemoth at Canada's Wonderland I think runs a little bit better than this one. Still a little bit more airtime, but I think this one gets a lot of hate for all of the trims on it, but honestly, it was running really fine today. We had a silly little moment on Kittyhawk because there was no line, so Josh did not have the credit, and we thought, why not get on Kittyhawk while there was no line? Man, true definition of a hang and bang. She was shaky, she was rattly. I think she is a certified rattly disaster, my friends. Afterburn, and holy crap, you guys. I don't know if it's the 107-degree heat index. I just checked. That is actually what we're at right now. But this thing is just unhinged, wild. It's insanity. The dive loop pretzel is actually unbelievable. We rode row 8, and the forces pulling you into the bottom of that element made my harness go down an extra click. It was insane. And then the final flat spin, so much force to it. It was absolutely wild. This has to be a top tier invert. She's bonkers. Aeronautica Landing was one of the new additions to the park last year, and it's very well done. Has a really nice collection of flat rides that the entire family can enjoy. And I think where this would work really well is SeaWorld Orlando. They need to invest in their flat ride collection, and I think a little area like this, themed to some ocean critters, that would be a really good choice for them. For dinner, we are eating at the Harmony Hall, and it is so hot that I just went with a chef's salad. When we're doing a big trip like this, I do try to at least eat healthy for a meal or two each day. And this has over 39 grams of protein and 480 calories, which I think is going to be really good. So I'm sure it's gonna be delicious. I won't do a food review, but very excited. It looks very refreshing, exactly what I wanted. After a very refreshing dinner, it's time to get some last rides in. It's around 7 p.m. and we have until 10 p.m. for the park close. So I think our plan of attack is some re-rides on Copperhead Strike. We have not done the park's Boomerang, which is the Flying Cobras. I'd like to do the Mine Train and the Aero Looper as well. Maybe Vortex, the B&M stand-up if that's open, but won't be heartbroken if it's not. And then I think we will end the night with a few rides on Fury 325 before calling it a night. So let's go along. I would love for somebody who lives close to Carowinds or frequents it to explain to me why the Windseeker runs on such a slow cycle that the seats don't kick out. It's literally almost like an observation tower compared to the other ones. I mean, I didn't hate it. I'm just curious as to why this one runs so differently than the others. So if you know, let me know in the comments, please. That ride on Copperhead Strike was probably my favorite ride on Copperhead Strike ever. She was running flawlessly. It was so smooth as butter. We rode in the front row, and I think I am a front row stan on Copperhead Strike. The hang time was immaculate. The air time was forceful and fun. The positive G's were great. Just such a fun ride for the park. I love Copperhead Strike. It's running excellently this year. Do I hate myself enough to do the Flying Cobras? Yes, yes we do. Let's go. One word to describe the Flying Cobras. She was silly. My neck did not appreciate it going forward. For some reason though, going backward felt smoother to me for whatever reason or another. I don't know what the science is behind there. It's been a long, hot day, but man, she was silly. She does have the new vest restraints, which is quite nice. You don't have a lot of head banging, but just the profiling of the actual boomerang itself, not great for the neck.
Enjoy your ride.
Was fully prepared to come off of Vortex and tell you how much I hated it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It was actually running pretty good. I remember riding this a few years ago thinking it was one of the worst coasters I have ever ridden. Today, she was tolerable. She was giving okay. I know they just repainted the ride. I do think it's probably time for it to say goodbye. And I really hope that Carowinds doesn't do the floorless treatment like they did at a couple of the other parks. I really hope that if they do decide to go ahead and get rid of it, that they give what this park deserves, which would be amazing. I know that King's Dominion's supposed to be getting a wing coaster, and I would have loved to have seen a wing coaster here, but like a dive coaster I think could do really, really well here for the crowds that Carowinds receives, and I would love to see this plot of land maybe get a dive coaster, or maybe even like a Vekoma family multi-launch would be really good. But anyway, Vortex, not terrible, tolerable tonight. I think the last part of the night is going to call for a few more rides on Fury 325, and I think that's going to do it for our day here at Carowinds. So, a few night rides on Fury, let's go. Oh my God. We just got off back-to-back rides on Fury 325, one in row 2 and one in row 1, and those had to be some of the best, if not the best, Fury 325 rides I've ever had in my life. Immaculate, smooth, fast, incredible, forceful, airtime. There was just everything in it. And when you're in the front row, you literally just cannot hear anything because the wind is just like howling past you so fast. This thing is hauling today and absolutely incredible. I have a really, really hard time ranking roller coasters, but I have to say this has to be in the top 5, top 10, top 5 coasters for me of all time. It's absolutely incredible, and it's just running so, so well today. We had a phenomenal visit here at Carowinds to kick off our USA theme park tour. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It was a hot one, it was a long one, and it's just the beginning. Tomorrow we'll be at King's Dominion, and that vlog will be on the channel in just 2 days' time. So we are doing 3 vlogs per week during this USA theme park road trip series. And so yeah, tomorrow's gonna be King's Dominion. It's supposed to be another hot one. Record heat index warnings coming out for us. So we're gonna try to stay as hydrated as possible, but I'm so looking forward to Intimidator 305. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you guys wanna see that video coming up on the channel soon. Hit like to fight the YouTube algorithm. Keep cruising and coasting. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.